this is the other place at the Fat Man's File Adventure?
Just keep your eyes peeled. You see anything?
Neither do I. Let's get out of here and go to a nice movie at the Bijou. There's free popcorn.
Will you stop that? We're Ghostbusters, aren't we? We stay. We are dedicated and fearless, right?
Well,
neither rain nor snow nor sleep shall stay us from our mission, right? Blow.
Okay, I'm going to talk about the Ghostbusters. Not this Ghostbusters, which is my copy with my autograph of Harold Ramis and Ernie Hudson, by the way. Not that I'm bragging or anything like that, but I'm talking about the first Ghostbusters. Not many people know about this one. This was a Saturday morning show in 1975, okay? There were a lot of live action shows being produced at the time instead of cartoons, like they had Shazam and Isis, and of course all of the Sid and Marty Krofft shows, like H.R. Pufnstuf and the Bugaloos, and everybody always thinks that this is a Krofft show. It was a live action sitcom Saturday morning. It was great. They had like a Harlem Globetrotters variety show. They had the Hudson brothers, by the way, Kate Hudson's father with Goldie Hawn. That's who that guy was. So this was the original Ghostbusters. It was created by Filmation, which was the cartoon company that made Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids and all the Archie cartoons, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and all of those cartoons. Forrest Tucker and Larry Storch, who were from F Troop, which was a 60s sitcom. And this guy was named Bob Burns, and he created this gorilla costume. Well, he didn't create it. I think Rick Baker created it, who was the guy that ended up doing special effects for John Landis, and he went on to become this genius in special effects. And people really thought this was a real gorilla because he actually did shtick and he acted and did funny things, but he was actually a man in a costume. But people thought he was a real gorilla. It was amazing at the time. People actually talked about Saturday morning shows in '75, believe it or not. Forrest Tucker and Larry Storch, they were great together. Forget about Abbott and Costello and Lewis and Martin and Avery Schreiber and Jack Burns and all these other. These were the guys right here.
Well, what do we do now? We've got to get the Maltese monkey back and return it to its rightful owner.
now maybe we can substitute a bowling ball for the crystal ball that the Fat Man uses. One of us poses Big Al, we go to the Fat Man and the Rabbit, and maybe we get them to tell us where the Maltese monkey is. No, that'd never work. One of us has to look exactly like Big Al. I wish you'd lose that thing.
I actually was able to meet Forrest Tucker not too long before he died. He was at a movie premiere of a movie he did, and he was pretty old, and I think he was drunk, I'm not sure, but he would do like furniture commercials in San Antonio a lot. Kind of sad, but he was a real talented guy, kind of a funny guy, you know. Basically, they were the Ghostbusters, and they would bust ghosts, and every week they'd have like these guest stars on that were these great comic actors from the 60s and 50s, and they would just like do this thing where they were off to find the ghost of the werewolf or the Frankenstein, and then they did this shtick, but it was like vaudeville. It was hilarious stuff, you know, and Larry Storch is wearing this zoot suit there, and it was just funny. Of course, you look at it now and you're going, God, that's cheesy, but it's still funny. I don't know, it's weird, you know. And I remember I was watching an episode of the Merv Griffin Show, and these guys were on there singing their Ghostbusters song. And it was like, then they were talking about, oh yeah, we're all like hanging around on the set with Charles Nelson Riley and all this. And I thought, this is great. This is like showbiz, but it's for kids shows. I mean, that doesn't seem right. It's like, you know, this is like the cream of the crop in old Hollywood, and they're all doing kids shows. I couldn't get over it. Something was wrong there, you know. It turns out that the Ghostbusters, when they made the movie with it was actually supposed to be Aykroyd and John Belushi, and then Belushi died, God rest his soul, and then it became Bill Murray took over the part, and I think Eddie Murphy was going to be in it too at one point. But the script had been floating around for a long time, and there was a lawsuit. Well, these guys won the lawsuit. These guys came back with a cartoon based on these guys, and they called it the original Ghostbusters. When the cartoons came out, there was one called The Real Ghostbusters, which was created by these guys. There was this cartoon legal war going on about like who is the real Ghostbusters. Nonetheless, if you ever have a chance to watch these cheesy, horribly funny vaudeville type shows, the Ghostbusters, you've got to check it out. Let your kids watch them. It'll be great. There's this thing with a filing cabinet the gorilla does that's just, and you know, it's funny, the gorilla's name is Tracy, and his name is Kong, and his name's Spencer. So this is Spencer, Tracy, and Kong, but you would think that the two guys would be Spencer and Tracy and the gorilla would be Kong. But you see, that's the way they screwed with our minds when we were kids, and that's why we're so fucked up now. But I'm not going to go into that. Just see the Ghostbusters. It's great.